I'm gonna just go ahead and start this video off by saying, please respect my privacy at this time. I'm so excited. Okay. Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Kara. Whether you're new or returning, you have picked a great day to stop by because I'm talking all about my favorite thing. Y'all can already see the happiness on my face, so y'all already know I'm talking about eyeshadow palettes. Yes, and we are talking about none other than Temptalia's collaboration with Sydney Grace. So if you want to see my take on the collection, swatches of all three palettes, and then one look with each, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think about this collection. And definitely consider subscribing and joining the community. Y'all know I want you to come back. All right, let's get started. So I would say Sydney Grace is probably in my top 5 favorite brands. I was trying to think about that last night. I mean, okay, I have Tiny Marbles, Enduring Love, and then I have my singles. Oh my God. I have my mattes and my shimmers. So I guess I'm a stan. When I saw this 3 palette collection, 12 shades each, I will say I was overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know what to get. Should I get light? Should I get deep? What's the difference between the 3 palettes? Then I was like, you know what? All the Sydney Grace I have here, I already know the palettes are gonna be consistent and good. Like, do I need to add to that collection? Yes, I did need to add to my collection. No, I could not choose one palette. I mean, hey. Now, I did get all 3 palettes. I did get the light versions of the palettes just because I like those mattes better. I feel like I'm already all over the place because my heart is filled with excitement. So let me just breathe and go back to step 1. Okay. The collection between Sydney Grace and Temptalia was like sneak peeked at the end of 2020. If you've been following my channel for a while, I am a newbie at makeup. This is probably going on 2 years at this point. And Temptalia's page is a page that I came across when I was just researching different eyeshadows. So Temptalia, her real name is Christine, is one of the OG beauty bloggers. She has got like a whole system for rating eyeshadows. She does dupes, really thorough analysis, like a science of these eyeshadows, great color descriptions. She comes up with different combinations and, you know, challenges people to do looks with them. I mean, she is so meticulous and thorough when it comes to makeup reviews. It's really amazing. If you are not familiar or haven't looked at her blog, it's just take a look. And I will link all her information. I think she chose a great brand to collaborate with because Sydney Grace is like, I don't even have the words. When you think of like a rock, an anchor, like you just know that it's going to be good. I don't have to be like, oh, is it gonna be the same formula? Is this palette? No, it is consistent, the same, the singles, the palettes, all of it. Whatever Sydney Grace has come up with to the key to this eyeshadow combination formulation that they have, just keep doing it because it is just, okay, that's all I can say. So let's just start talking about the collaboration because I just feel my heart is like swelling up with love and excitement. We've got the 3 palettes here, Quintessence, On the Horizon, and Radiant Reflection. And when you put these beautiful palettes together, so this is about to be struggle bus. If you have all 3 palettes, and I know this is not the first review that you all have seen, it makes a beautiful celestial picture. I'll pop a picture up of the picture. One of the things I wonder when I'm looking at artwork or palette design or color choices, I always want to know the inspiration behind the artwork, you know, the cover art, the colors that are being chosen. And she goes into great detail on her site with the backstory of this collection. What really stood out to me was the dog here. And one of the things that I found out was that her dog Magellan had to be put down in January, and it reminded me of my Cam that I lost in March. I think she had her dog for 13 years. I had Cam for 13 years, so that's really a hard thing, and I love that she paid tribute to her dog Magellan through the artwork. And if you can see without this ring light glare, there's also a constellation of the dog in the sky. So I just thought that was so sweet and just a beautiful touch. What I plan to do in this video is do an overview of all three palettes. I want to swatch them. I want to give you color descriptions. And then I want to do one look with each palette so we can just see the differences between them. And then I'll come back and we can do, you know, each palette separately and maybe do a multi-looks one palette, because I know everyone didn't get the whole collection, and that's cool. Now, each of the palettes were $40, and if you decided to get all three, you could get them for $100, and there are plenty of codes for 15% off. So I ended up getting the three palettes for $85. So it was like, if you were gonna get two, you might as well get three. I know that logic might not be the best, but the palettes also came in deep and light versions where the mattes were either a deeper shade or a lighter shade. I chose the light shade, as I said, because I just really liked those colors better. So we're gonna start with the Quintessence palette. I don't like this glare from the ring light, but so here's the palette. The outside's a bit hard to see because of the ring light glare. Now this palette is described, and this is from Temptalia's blog, a celestial fantasy through a constellation of vivid tones and otherworldly finishes. It's inspired by all things space, the twinkling of stars, and the dreams of nebulae on an endless journey through the galaxies and beyond. Here's the inside of this beauty, and these are the two shades that vary between the light and deep palette. They're the shades Reaching Zenith and Parallax. Let's go ahead and get into the swatches. The first shade we're gonna look at is Umbra. It's a deep black with a matte finish. Next we have Orion Nebula. It is a raspberry red with pearl sheen. Next we have Aurora Violet with blue violet shift and sparkling metallic finish. Next we have Borealis, a mint green base with warmer gold shimmer and micro sparkle over a metallic finish. Galactic Muse, mid-tone bluish teal with intense metallic finish. Interstellar, deep blue teal with matte finish. Celestial Bloom, intense violet purple with a hint of blue reflect and metallic finish. Next we have the Milky Way, and I thought this was an interesting take on the spelling, but that's actually her last name. It's a medium rosy pink base with intense gold to green shift and metallic finish. All right, this is one of the mattes that is going to be different in the deep palette. Reaching Zenith, light medium cool gray with matte finish. Parallax is the other shade that's going to be different in the deep palette. This one is a pale lavender taupe with matte finish. Sirius Starlight is a light silvery taupe with twinkling metallic finish. My Constellation, muted mid-tone plum with blue reflect and metallic finish. And here is Quintessence Light. So yeah, y'all, this is a beautiful color story. And when I finally saw it swatched out, it was just easier for me to see like which palette I wanted, which was all of them. And I do like the finishes on here. So some of them are like really sparkly. Some of them have like that duochrome. Some of them are more of a pearl. And then you have mattes. So it is a nice variety and very consistent with my Sydney Grace singles. So I'm really happy with having this palette. All right, let's move on to On the Horizon. And here it is, and you see her little dog Magellan there. So the description says, come back down to earth from a voyage through space with grounded, grungy neutrals that are intertwined with murmurs of color designed to inspire and complement your favorite neutral palettes. Here's the inside of this beauty, and yes, you can see that this will probably be really good for our friends that like neutrals. I love these shades here and these shimmers. It's not as galactic as Quintessence. So let's go ahead and swatch it. First up is Heart Dog. It's a golden pewter with a high shine metallic finish. Look at that, look at it. I can't. Earthbound, sage green base with warmer gold pearl and high shine metallic finish. I can't. Desert Spoon, muted grass green with matte finish. Magellan's Light, rosy copper base with flecks of green and gold sparkle. Phoenix Awakens, deeper copper with moderate warm undertones and high shine metallic finish. October Odyssey, and this is the light version, medium dark rosy pink with matte finish. I love Temptalia's color descriptions because sometimes I really have a hard time describing color. So these are really, really helpful. Going to the bottom row, first we have Midnight Courage, rich navy blue with matte finish. Flying High is a black and blue teal base with flecks of multicolored shimmer and sparkle. Lunar Illumination, rosy lavender with a high shine golden sheen. Next we have Infinite Echoes. This is the light version, mid-tone neutral to cool taupe with matte finish. Next is Sakura Glow, plum with subtle warm undertones and sparkling metallic sheen. And last is Calming Presence, deep blackened violet base with contrasting pearl and metallic sheen. And here's On the Horizon. Y'all can see all of the swatches. Okay, y'all, we have one more palette to swatch, and that is Radiant Reflection. And here's what it looks like. I'm hoping you can, there we go. Take a moment to reflect on the faceted nature of each of us as individuals and what lies beneath the surface to discover a rainbow of luxurious jewel tones just waiting to be explored. And here you see that this palette is very jewel toned. Let's do the swatches. We can get to these looks. First up is Unstoppable Love Light. Medium dark plum with muted warm undertones and matte finish. Opera Rose, medium dark red with warm undertones and pearl finish. Temptalia, medium neutral pink with high shine metallic finish. Forget Her Not, deep violet with cool undertones and pearly sheen. Our Starry Night, bright cobalt blue base with flecks of gold sparkle over metallic finish. Can we just say, I can't? Oh, I'm done. Let's just stop it right here because this, stop it. Gloss Over, glowing light medium blue with cool undertones and subtle pearly shift. Ooh, y'all. Sumptuous Serendipity, medium dark reddish plum with contrasting micro sparkle over metallic finish. Phosphenes, medium dark rosy taupe with intense metallic sheen. I'm all for a good rosy taupe now. Look at that. Next is Dearest Constant, light. It's a light medium peach with muted warm undertones and matte finish. Exquisite Opulence, intense molten gold with metallic finish. Next up is Jealousy's Descent, deep emerald green with metallic finish. And finally, we have Sublime Reverie, medium dark teal with cool undertones and matte finish. And here is Radiant Reflection. It's a little crooked, but it's here. All right, y'all, I hope those swatches were helpful. I wanted to swatch them on camera. I haven't been doing that as much lately, but I just thought it'd be nice for you to see like live, you know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean, live. What the swatches look like, and then, you know, hopefully see the differences between the 3 palettes. So now we're gonna get into the looks part of the video. I'm gonna do 1 look with each palette, and I'm gonna start with Quintessence. So here we go. Okay, you guys, so we are now getting ready to get into this look right here with the Quintessence palette. Let me show it to you up close. Yes, I had to just use those bright blue purples and greens. So this is the look we are about to create. I feel like this look really, really represents the palette. Here it is one more time. So let's get into how I created this look. All right, so here's the palette again. So, you know, we have that. And for primer, I'm using the new Icing eyeshadow base, and this is by Lvly. So I like it so far. The first shade I'm starting out is with Parallax. That is the lightest matte shade. I'm going to place that in the transition area, and I'm also using it to set down this primer. So this primer is a bit lighter, and I think that's going to be great for making the shadow pop. And I'm just placing this all in the transition area, just above the crease and almost to the brow bone, or almost to my actual eyebrow. I'm gonna leave it like that. And I did use a fluffy brush, as you can see, for that Parallax shade. That brush was actually a Refer number 27. And now I'm going to use this Morphe M507 brush, which is still fluffy but smaller. And I'm going to take the shade Reaching Zenith, and that is gonna go in the crease. And now that I've laid down that first shade, I'm just going with the, you know, traditional windshield wiper motion rather than that padding that I was doing. I do that padding to set down the color on the primer and set the primer in place. So this is just, you know, making a bit of a gradient with the 2, you know, gray colors. Because remember, the first one is more like a lavender gray, and this is like a deeper version of that color. So I'm gonna lay it down. I think this is actually pretty good here. Taking that same brush, I'm gonna go into Umbra, which is the black shade. Now I'm gonna focus Umbra pretty much on the outer corner and just under the lash line, but only on like this last little corner area. Now when I was creating this look on the other eye, I did get a touch of fallout, but it was easy to wipe it away. So just make sure you tap off your brush. If you're really concerned about fallout, you know, you can always do your face makeup last, but you know, I went ahead and did mine first. So just kind of concentrating it in here, because when we use that deep purple Celestial Bloom shade, it'll kind of fade in to Umbra. I'm just gonna drag it out just a little bit. I'm gonna just take some of that and drag it. I'm not even adding any more to my brush. Now I'm gonna diffuse this up a little bit, and I'm gonna do that by just taking the original brush and just kind of spreading it out a little bit so it's not so harsh. And I'll fix it up at the end. But we're gonna leave it like that for now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take Celestial Bloom. That's gonna go on the main part of the lid, and then Aurora is gonna go on the inner part of the lid. And when you do this, do not just be doing all this. Just be like, just be gentle. Ginger. Because I already got some fallout, just a little bit. Now you can always use, you know, a glitter glue if you want to, but I'm just not. And this is probably all I need. I don't even see the need to pick up any more of Celestial Bloom, I think. And you see I left this front portion of the lid empty. For the inner portion of the lid, I'm using a Refer number 28 brush, and that is what I'm gonna use to go into the shade Aurora. And again, that's going on the first half of the lid. Oh, now I am gonna spray that. So of course I left my spray across the room. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go into Aurora first, and then I'm going to take my setting spray and just give it a light spray. And I'm just tapping that in here. This is really beautiful. And I'm just merging it with Celestial Bloom. And y'all see, like, I'm done. I did not have to go into that shade anymore. So that's what we have so far. Now what I do want to do is go back into Umbra just to make sure that the purple did not overtake all of it. So I'm just gonna take it and just, I only dipped into the pan one time, but I'm just kind of smudging it on the purple just a little bit. Taking the same brush that I used, the Refer 28, I'm gonna go into Borealis for the lower lash line, and I'm going to again go into the shade and then spray it with the setting spray. And you know, don't saturate it with the setting spray, just a little taste of spray, that's it. And I'm just going to gently brush under the lower lash line with Borealis. And like, I feel like these palettes are gonna last me my entire life, because like, you don't need a lot of shadow. And I hope y'all see, like, these looks are not really difficult to create. I mean, I don't think so, but y'all let me know. I'm trying to make sure I explain everything. And that's it for that. So now we're gonna go into the inner corner. I'm gonna go into the shade, the Milky Way. And I'm just using this Bristles Beauty. I don't even know what kind of brush this is, but just get yourself a real little tiny brush. I'm gonna use setting spray for this as well. Can y'all tell August isn't home? I gotta go get him from camp shortly and then come back and do the other two palettes. So that's the inner corner. I'm gonna go into Serious Starlight. I'm gonna highlight under the brow bone with the same brush. I like the shimmery brow bone highlight for this. And you can see it's just a little touch. And there's our look. Gonna be using this ColourPop Cream Gel Eyeliner. You can use any color you want. I'm just using the silver. Okay, you guys, to finish off this eyeshadow look, I'm gonna add mascara and the other lash, and then I'll come back and, you know, show it to y'all all together. We gotta go get August from.
Yes. I'm gonna call.
Okay, can you get a bag? Marky, my door! No, you wait. Talking about some wheat. No. Just when I thought. I was almost scot-free. So what do y'all think about this look? Look number 1 with Quintessence. Beautiful. This purple here, oh my goodness. Now.
Yes.
I can't move. I'm a statue.
I saw it.
It's okay. You think you can pour it yourself?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. I love you. Don't forget to put your shoes on. I want to come back and do another video. I want to do a whole dedicated video to each palette. But in case you don't see those and you just, you know, need the overview, because some people just need the overview. You know what I'm saying? I think this look really does represent the space aspect of Quintessence, and like just what that palette was trying to say in a way. Okay, so next up, we're gonna come back down to earth and we are going to create a look with On the Horizon. So I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so here's the look we are going to create with the second palette, which is On the Horizon. All right, so here is the look. Okay, so let's get into it. So the first shade I'm gonna go into is the shade Desert Moon, and that's gonna be the transition shade. I'm using a Refer 15. The next shade I'm going into is Infinite Echoes, and I'm using the Morphe M507 brush. This is that smaller fluffy brush to get into the crease. If you have hooded eyes, make sure you go a little bit above your crease so that way when you look straight on, you can still see both colors. Taking the rougher brush again and just kind of diffusing it out and merging both shades. And now you can see there is no harsh line between the two shades. Using the same Morphe brush, I am gonna go into Midnight Courage, which is that navy blue, and this is going to be focused on the outer corner. I'm also gonna take Midnight Courage and put it underneath the lower lash line, and I'm just gonna go about 1/3 of the way over. Next, using my finger, I'm gonna go into the shade Magellan's Light. Magellan's Light is going to be placed on the main part of the lid, and I'm just gonna tap it on there. And actually, Magellan's Light is gonna go pretty much over to the inner corner. Using my Refer 28 brush with some setting spray, going into the shade Flying High. This shade is going to be placed on the outer corner. Don't forget to spray your brush after you put it in the shadow, not before. And I am placing this in between Midnight Courage and Magellan's Light. Using an e.l.f. smudger brush with some setting spray, I'm going into the shade Phoenix Awakens, and this is going to be my lower lash line shade. Next, I think this may be a lip brush by BH Cosmetics, but you just need a small flat brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Earthbound, and I'm gonna be using this in the inner corner, and I'm actually gonna drag it over onto the lid just a little bit. I am using setting spray with this shade also. And to finish off the look, I am taking this small like pencil brush by Bristles Beauty, and I'm gonna be going into the shade Lunar Illumination, and that is going to highlight the brow bone. And there we have look number 2, you guys. I'm trying to roll through these because y'all know I don't like super long videos. Now I'm gonna be using a brown eyeliner, so you can use, you know, whatever you want. This is by ColourPop, and it's just your traditional chocolate brown liner. I am gonna put that on and the lash, and then I will show you the look all put together. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, here's the final look. We're gonna zoom in one more time. The lashes that I have on are the Burger lashes from Glamlight, and I love these. So I really love this look. I love the orange and the greens together. And I also love the hint of blue that is also on the lid. I just think it came out really, really nice. All right, y'all, 2 palettes down, 1 more to go. I will be right back. All right, you guys, if you are still with me, first off, I just wanna say thank you for hanging in there. We are at the last and final look, and I created this with Radiant Reflection. So let's take a look, and then we'll create it and be out. So here's the look. Let's get into it. Using a fluffy brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Dearest Constant for the transition. Next, I'm using a Refer 13. This is a great brush for hooded eyes. It's a nice blending brush, but it is small. And I'm gonna go into the shade Unstoppable Love. That's gonna go in the crease. I'm also gonna put this shade on the outer corner. But I just wanna reiterate, if you have hooded eyes, like this Refer 13 brush is so good. That's good. Next, I'm going into Exquisite Opulence with a finger, and that's gonna go on the main part of the lid. Using a flat shader brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Phosphines. I'm also gonna spray this with some setting spray. Phosphines is gonna go on the inner third of the eyelid. And I am bringing it over Exquisite Opulence just a little bit. And you see how the shades just blend into one another. It's not like a harsh line between the colors. Now I'm gonna take this smaller blending brush. This is by Lavish. This is an eye shader. And I'm actually gonna go into the shade Opera Rose. And I'm gonna spray this with setting spray and put this on the outer corner. Also bringing it over Exquisite Opulence just a little bit. And just bring it up into the crease. On a Rephr number 2 brush, I'm going into the shade Sumptuous Serendipity, and this is going to be for the lower lash line. And I'm also using setting spray. Bringing this down a little lower than normal. Just pulling this out a little bit. On a pencil brush, I'm going to take the shade Gloss Over, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner as the highlight. And I just felt like I had to use this shade at some point. On a Rephr 23, I'm gonna take the shade Temptalia, and that's gonna be my brow bone highlight. And here's the look. This time for eyeliner, using another ColourPop Cream Gel Liner. I'm using the shade Prancer, I think that's what it is. It's like a periwinkle. And I'm gonna put that on in the lash, and then we'll be back to close out this video, and I'll share my thoughts with you about this collection, but I'm sure you know what they are. All right, you guys, we are done. Let's look at this close up and get out of here. Okay, you guys, my final thoughts on the collection. I think the looks speak for themselves. Now, originally when I looked at this collection, as I said in the beginning, I was overwhelmed. I thought the palettes were similar, but upon creating the looks that I did, I just feel like each palette really does have something special to offer, and it's communicating a different message to me. I don't know if these looks are interchangeable. They each have something really special about them, and I'm happy to have them. Which palette do I like the best? It's too soon to tell, but I think surprisingly Quintessence, which was the one that I was least interested in, I think might end up being the favorite. But I don't know, they're all beautiful. Like, I really love this look too. I want to say this look is my favorite. I don't know, they're all my favorite. So I'm happy to have all 3 palettes, and I can see myself using all 3 palettes. If you are curious about how these shades compare to Sydney Grace singles, I was not gonna have the time to compare them all, but on Temptalia's blog, she has the comparisons of her collection shades with already existing Sydney Grace shades. And I think that would be super helpful because she's already done it and has the swatch comparisons there. So again, her information is going to be linked in the description box if you are curious about those comparisons. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm loving this collection. I think she did a great job. That's all I can really say. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and for making it to the end. I really do hope that these looks gave you some inspiration if you have these palettes. And if you are interested in any of these palettes, I believe that some of them are still available on the Sydney Grace website, and the collection is now going to be on Camera Ready Cosmetics. So I think there's a code for Camera Ready Cosmetics. I'll put it in the description box if I can find it. And I'll also put some codes in for the Sydney Grace site as well. And again, thank you all for giving me some of your time. And until I see you again, make sure you're being gentle with yourself, talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.